All right, Shane, final game here. Number 1 Georgia versus Florida in Jacksonville. The Bulldogs favored by 14.5 points. The largest Georgia's been favored in this series going back to 1995. The over-under, 51 total points. And, of course, the game's at 3:30 Eastern on CBS, 2:30 Central. And this is how you know it's a rivalry, Shane. Georgia says the all-time series, they lead it 53-44, while Florida says it's 52-44. They can't even agree how many times they have met on the gridiron. But either way, Georgia leads it. And Kirby is 3-1 against Dan Mullen when the two are head-to-head as head coaches. So, who do you like in the matchup here?
Mike, I got a history lesson floating around out there somewhere about this game. This is one of the better rivalries in the country, Mike. These two teams absolutely hate each other. The fan base hate each other. They want to see them. They don't want to see them lose. They want to see them get destroyed. They want to see them get blackballed and kicked out of the SEC. That's just how deep this hatred is. And you look at this. One of the things I noticed when you're looking at the records here, going back 2008, Florida won 3 years in a row. Then Georgia won 3 years in a row. Then Florida 3. Then Georgia 3. Now you would naturally think Florida's on there. They've already got one down, So if you're in Vegas and you're wanting to play play some gambling, you're probably going to lay it on black if black's hit once and it's due to hit two more times. So you got to throw all that stuff out, Mike. I mean, because these are two different ball clubs than they were last year. Georgia is playing some of the best football I have seen in my life. And it doesn't matter who's at quarterback. That's the thing. People are saying, well, what if JT doesn't get in there? What if it doesn't matter, man. Kirby Smart could be throwing the damn football. They've shown you that they're going to be able to compete with whoever's out there because that's not their strength. Their strength is running the ball. They got plenty of running backs. They got plenty of linemen. And their big strength is defense. If you can't score, guess what? We're going to win. So that's Georgia football right now. You look at the Florida Gators, and, buddy, they're spiraling. If you're reading into it, I guarantee I'm not logged into any of their message boards, but I bet it's been on fire the last couple of weeks because we're losing recruits. Dan's going on vacation. We got all these job opportunities opening up. We're losing games we shouldn't. We don't know who's going to be at quarterback. It's just blah, blah, blah. There's just so many things going on. But you can't count Dan out. You can't count these Gators out because they do got talent. And that's exactly what they want going into this Georgia game. They want the Georgia Bulldogs to just think they're going to own. They don't have to prepare. They don't have to go 100% because this is the Florida Gators from last year. But that's where you get reckless. That's where you can get upset. But I just don't see that happening, Mike. I've tried to make ways. I tried to create scenarios in my head where Florida can hang around and maybe even beat Georgia Bulldogs. But I just can't because every time I've said that, you look at some of these games that Georgia was just supposed to steamroll team, there was never any letdown. They go out and they steamroll these teams. This is the best coached football team I have seen in a long, long time since Nick Saban's guys. So I can't make it a ball game. Give me Georgia 35. Give me Florida 17. And that's, 17's backdooring. I think they hold at 10 points for most of the game.
Ooh. One of the greatest rivalries in all of sports. You think it's going to be a blowout, Shane? Remember, this is the same Florida team that played Alabama toe-to-toe. Same Florida team that, Tennessee made their mistakes, but they handled the Volunteers pretty easily, and we've come to find out, looks like Tennessee's pretty solid. But it's hard to argue with anything you just said, man, because them Georgia Bulldogs playing so well. All week I've tried to make this a competitive game, Shane, and I feel like I'm the last man standing on the island singing the praises of Dan Mullen. I still think he's a great coach, but I'm kind of flabbergasted, not that he needs to really come out here and say it, but what's going to happen if he starts Emory Jones in this football game and they get waxed? Oof. You know what I mean? Like that's going to be a bad, bad day for old Dan Mullen and company. So I think it's so strange. It's hard to pick these games. We don't know who's the starting quarterback for either one. I assume Stetson Bennett. I don't think JT Daniels, we're going to see him in this game. So I'm picking it based on the fact that I think it's going to be Stetson Bennett again. But I'm also picking it based on the fact that I think Dan Mullen is finally going to wise up and start Anthony Richardson. And I think that's going to give Florida somewhat of an edge in this. I know they're going up against maybe the most dominant defense we've ever seen in college football. It's too bold to make that comment midseason, but certainly they are well on their way to being the Georgia Bulldogs. So I think Florida's going to find more success than you do in this one, Shane. I think it's going to be a tighter ball game. And I think, hell, maybe Dan Mullen just needed to go on vacation. Who knows? Maybe he was meeting with some X and O's gurus down there and working on plays to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. So I think they're going to throw the kitchen sink at this defense. And like I said, I think they're going to have some success. But in the end, there's no way in hell I'm going to pick the Florida Gators to beat the Georgia Bulldogs. And I would not be stunned at all, even if Georgia wins in just a slaughter. You know what I mean? Like, That's what Georgia and Kirby wants to do to the Florida Gators and Dan Mullen every year. So that would not surprise me at all. But I think Florida shows up just like they did against Alabama, just like they did. Well, I'm trying to think of another game, really. Not a ton to select from, but against Tennessee, I guess. But so I've got this thing a little bit lower scoring than you, Shane. I got Georgia 27, Florida 17, and I just got to hope and pray that Florida has learned how to stop the running counterattack, because if not, I just run that every damn play and score 60 points on them like LSU damn near did 2 weeks ago. You know what?
So what you're saying is Dan's like Ace Ventura when he lost that raccoon. He went up on vacation. He's up there at the Monks right now trying to get his chi right. So maybe that's what he is. He just what was that? The Wachuchi tribe, or I can't remember how it's called, but that's what he did. He went out there to find himself and get grounded and come back and win this football game. So and Dan's done this in the past, man. Not Florida's done this in the past. It's a program that as soon as you count them out, they come right back. They got talent. They got NFL talent on that roster. I mean, they can compete with Georgia. It's just putting it all together. And sometimes you just need a break. Sometimes you need a momentum swing. And who knows? What you need, Mike, is somebody other than a quarterback to make some plays in this ball game. You need somebody on that defense. You need one of these guys that when whoever's back at quarterback decides to throw it, maybe they'd get a pick six or something like that. I mean, we saw that with the Arkansas Auburn game. You know, just needed a momentum swing. And you're right back into this. So I'm with you. Here I am. I just told you there's a blowout. Now I'm trying to convince myself the Florida Gators are going to upset the Bulldogs. So I don't know, Mike. That's what I love about Saturday. That's what I love about this rivalry. You just never know. There's been plenty of times these two teams have fought, and you knew exactly who's going to win, and the other one walked away victorious. So maybe that's what happens. Just another world's largest outdoor cocktail party extravaganza, man. I'm here for it, brother.
Yeah, and thinking back to Florida, I mean, I know obviously they're hugely disappointing at this point of the season, but it's not like there's some god awful team. It's they had a inexperienced center against Kentucky. They had 8 or 9 false starts. They had all these interceptions against LSU that killed them. In the Kentucky game, it was the blocked field goal return for a touchdown. In the Alabama game, it was the missed extra point. They had to chase that, and that's, they failed on the 2-point conversion. They lost by 2. I mean, these are little things for the most part that can be corrected, and that's what a bye week's good for. So if they could put all those pieces together, again, I think they can make it a fight, a 3-quarter, maybe even a 4-quarter fight with the Georgia Bulldogs. But, of course, Georgia number one in the nation for a reason. Hell, we've been saying it all season they should be number one, and I think they've exceeded even our expectations. So in the end, I don't think there's going to be anyone picking Florida to win this football game, but I think Florida's got it in them one more time to get up for. If you can't get up for this game, you might as well just quit. You know what I mean?
Just hang it up. Yeah, this is their championship game now, man. This is the SEC championship for them. For many years you talked about who's the best team in the East. It's been coming down to these two teams, and I don't think that's any different, man. So Florida's not where they want to be, but damn, I still right now, even though Kentucky beat them, neutral field. Come on now, we got two of the best teams right here going against each other. So, like you said, if they don't show up for this one, then the hell with them. Get a new coach. That's what I say.